sheep are needy creatures. How many of us currently own or have ever owned a pet? Raise your hand. Dogs, cats, birds, horses. Look at that, 90% of us. High maintenance, rabbits. High maintenance, goats, fish, high maintenance. The only pet that isn't high maintenance is a pet rock. Okay? Animals are high maintenance. Now, I'm wondering how many of us have a high maintenance bestie. Right? Our bestie is needy. Or do you have needy coworkers? Needy family members? Right? Parents have needy kids. Grown kids have needy aging parents. You have needy younger siblings, right? Needy family, needy. How many of us have a needy, gigantic to-do list waiting at home for us when we get home from church today? And we'll get to that after we, get the oil changed in the car and the lawnmower fixed and the budget balance. And then there's church always asking you to do things. Needy. Research shows that ongoing, unaccomplished needs coming at us build stress. Also shows that out of control needs tend to overwhelm us and build stress as well. They create fear, they create mental health challenges, and even when we're so overwhelmed, we can feel this sense of paralysis, like, I don't want to go on, I just want to give up. I'm done. As part of our study of Psalm 23, it's really important, we're going to do this today, to dial into exactly what sheep need. These are needy creatures. Done some research on this, and sheep have really 4 basic huge needs if they are going to lie down, be led, or be lifted up. Sometimes sheep fall over and they can't get up. Literally, this is common. A sheep falls over, it can't get up. In order for a sheep to lie down safely and sleep and rest, be led, or be lifted up, sheep have, in order to be stress-free, they need to be one of 4, actually all 4 things. All right, here's a list. You can take notes here in your message notes. Sheep refuse to lie down or be led unless they are free from all fear. Makes sense because sheep basically have no self-defense mechanism. They don't have fangs, right? They don't have claws. So these sheep are these like helpless creatures, and their only defense mechanism is to scatter and run. So sheep are afraid of anything from a stray rabbit to a scampering little Pekingese puppy dog, not intending them any harm. Sheep will freak out and they'll be frightened and they'll stampede, and just because the other sheep are doing it, sheep will follow them. They will literally run off a cliff or into a rock cleft and be injured or die because of fear. Secondly, sheep refuse to lie down or be led unless they are free from friction. Friction. Every group of any living creature, whether it's dolphins or sheep or people, every group experiences some kind of conflict or tension, or worse than that, division, anger and hate. It happens because we're living beings and we have our own experiences, our own ways. It happens in the sheep world as well. It's like this is as bad in the sheep world is as bad as a bad reality TV show. I'm telling you that there is conflict within the flock. There's a term that shepherds use called the butting order, B-U-T-T-I-N-G, the butting order. What that means is that there's usually a sheep who wants to be the boss, of the flock. Phillip Keller, who wrote the book, A Shepherd Looks at Psalm 23, helps me understand this. He writes this: the most arrogant, cunning, and domineering old ewe, female sheep, will be the boss, driving other ewes and lambs from the best grazing. And then what happens? You have that one sheep who's trying to assert themselves as the boss sheep, but you have other sheep who think they should be the boss sheep. And there's butting heads that goes on, physically, literally butting each other out of the way. Keller writes this: the sheep become edgy, tense, disoriented, restless. They lose weight and become irritable from friction. Number 3, sheep refuse to lie down or be led unless they are free from all flies and pests. I didn't know a lot of this stuff about flies and pests with sheep. I'll talk about a little bit about flies today, talk more about parasites and pests another Sunday. But Keller writes this: sheep can be driven to absolute distraction by flies. When tormented by these pests, it's literally impossible for them to lie down and rest. Instead, they are up on their feet, stomping their legs, shaking their heads, ready to rush off into the bush for relief from the pests. Fourthly, sheep refuse to lie down or be led when they have a fear of being famished. When they're hungry and feel like they're not going to be fed, like they won't be able to graze. Keller writes, a hungry, ill-fed sheep is ever on its feet, on the move, searching for another scanty mouthful of forage. Such sheep are not contented. They do not thrive. They languish and lack vigor and vitality. Poor, poor sheep. My dear fellow sheep, my question for us this morning is, which of these 4 is causing you stress right now? Maybe making you a bit distracted from where you need to really focus, maybe discontent with what God is doing in your life right now, maybe a little edgy and irritable more than you want to be. Maybe some fear keeping you up at night. And you're just fighting to survive, much less thrive, or just unhappily unsettled. It happens. We're human. So back to my question. And no, I'll frame these. So instead of talking to sheep, I'll talk to humans, all right? I'm going to reframe these 4 in human language. So to be stress-free as people, it's very important for us to identify and confess where our fears lie, our undocumented, unevidenced fears that don't trust God the way that we should. Right? So number 1, we need to identify and confess in our lives the fear of what we can't control. That's number 1. Okay, number 2, friction. We need to identify and confess the fear that we have of conflict, especially conflict in relationships, especially close relationships, often with the people that live in the same house that we do, or go to the same church that we do. There's this fear of that. Thirdly, it's a fear of general trouble or suffering, injustice, pain, loss. It upends us. Okay, finally, number 4. All right, to be stress-free, we have to identify and confess this fear of unsatisfied hunger, desire for something we don't have. Right? So sheep fear not being fed. We might fear God's provisions. Are they going to be enough? We might be afraid of not having clear guidance from God. We're looking for his answers to prayer, and we don't see them. We need guidance. We're looking for direction. We're hearing all kinds of other voices. Which one is right? God. So there they are, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's going to help you in your spiritual life if right now you identify which one of those is causing you the most stress right now. Honestly, as I do, all 4 of them are in play, but I have one. I'll tell it to you after you choose yours. So here's what we're going to do. Use your hand, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Use your fingers. You can do this on your lap, behind your back if you want, somewhere. Use your hand and choose your number. Here's mine. Okay, make it. This is real. This means you can't pretend. So use your fingers. Don't cheat. Use your fingers. Ready? Okay. Now we're going to take a poll. Okay? Some of you are saying, this isn't for me. I mean, I'm the only one that is scared of anything. Everyone else in the room, none of them are scared of anything. You think that's true? Not true. Others of you are thinking, I'm not scared of anything at all. What are you talking about? I'm not afraid. I'm not going to raise my hand. Guess what? You're afraid of raising your hand. Gotcha. Here's what we're going to do. So, all right, so all of us. All right, if you're number 1, if that's what's causing you stress right now, raise your hand. What we can't control. It's a pretty big one, pretty general, can be applied. Okay. Number 2, conflict in relationships. Okay. Number 3, injustice, loss, pain, trouble. Love it. Thank you. Okay. You're being real. And finally, 4, unsatisfied desires. All right. So I would say that number 1 was probably 40% of us. Number 2 was 25% of us at 65. 3 was 20% of us, that's 85. And 4 was about 15% of your answers. Thank you. What we don't identify and confess is kind of just floats out there, or it's under the surface, and we don't deal with it. We don't take care of it. And so it stays. You name it, you tame it. So I'm thankful that you were able to raise your hands in public and identify and confess this thing. Now, how about if we get rid of it? You with me? Let's let it go. The fear that we have of any of those 4, the fear that I have of unsatisfied, I'm praying, God, I'm praying, I'm not seeing your answer. I'm looking for resolution. And I don't see it. And there's some fear in there that's not trusting God the way I should. It's not looking for his answers. It's looking for mine. So I need to confess that. I want you to do that with me this morning for whatever yours is. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our raise the hand practice. So take your hand, your right hand, put it in front of your heart, like you're clasping your heart. And now very slowly, make a clench into a fist very slowly. Do this with me. We're all doing this. Thank you. Okay, now you're grabbing that fear, whatever your number, you're grabbing that. And now we're going to give it to Jesus. So take it up toward the sky, right? We're going to raise it up, and then you open your hand, and it's gone. And Jesus takes it. Hands down, good job. Right, we just let it go. Let it go to God. Let's review some themes that Psalm 23 is giving us. I'll be repeating these themes throughout the series so that they're sticky. Here's one of them. You and I, as sheep, are way more lost than we think. And way more loved than we imagine. Both are true. Psalm 23 tells us that. Another repeating theme. Whose responsibility is it for the health and well-being of the sheep in the flock? Whose responsibility is it? Is it the sheep's responsibility or the shepherd? The shepherd. All right, so if the sheep lack anything, whose fault is it? The shepherd. If the sheep are lacking, it's the shepherd who's lacking. But if the shepherd is good, then what are the sheep? Yeah. And there you have it. You are good. When the Lord is your shepherd, you are good. The Lord, this perfect shepherd with perfect love, with perfect forgiveness of every sin, with perfect interest in you. I mean, he not only loves you, he likes you. He loves loving you. The perfect shepherd. So what do we have to be afraid of then? Right, I love this Bible verse in 1 John 4:18. Perfect love drives out fear. There's your shepherd. He's not driving you out. He's caring for you, but he is driving out fear. Perfect love drives out fear. Now, some of you are saying, oh, wow. So if I have this perfect shepherd with this perfect love, why do I get so afraid sometimes? If I have this perfect shepherd, it's good shepherd, and I'm good, why do I get so stressed out? Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to give you the answer for your clarity so you can work on this. Here it is. We fear what we shouldn't, and we get stressed out in life without peace, irritable, because we're trying to do our shepherd's job. And we can't. None of us is God. None of us is the Son of God. Not quite qualified. It's intuitive for us to try to do his job for him. And when you are trying to do Jesus' job, which no one can do, you're not going to be able to do it, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're going to be tunnel visioned on your way and not see his better way. So, all right, so write that down and remember that. When I'm stressed out, Jesus, what am I trying to do that only you can do? And this would be my biggest observation and personal experience of trying to do that. Trying to find peace in order and control. If I have order and control in my life, if my kids behave like angels, who's laughing? I think that was you, Sarah. But that's good, because none of ours do. But if I have a house in order, if my task list at work, I can be responsible for it in a way it's in control. If I can have all my relationships in the way that I want them, right? If I have order, then that's control and that's peace. That's a lie. And we all try it. Because peace isn't found on the outside. Where is peace found? Peace is found on the inside. You are not going to create enough control and enough order in your life to make you feel at peace, ever. That's because Jesus said, my peace I give you, peace I leave with you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. If you're looking for peace in order and control, you'll never find it. But if you look for Jesus, you will find him. And then he orders and controls everything his way, and it's good. Order is not control. Order is being aligned with Jesus in your life. And now Psalm 23 tells us exactly how to do that. Before I get there, Phillip Keller, I just have to read this quote from him when we talk about why we're all stressed out, why we can't lie down like sheep should lie down, why we can't be led like sheep need to be led, why we aren't lifted up in joy like sheep need to be lifted up. Okay, Phillip Keller says this. Here's the solution to all those problems with his sheep. Here it is. He says, in the course of time, I came to realize that nothing so quieted and reassured the sheep as to see me in the field. The presence of their master and owner and protector put them at ease as nothing else could. Nothing else. Order is not control. Order is Jesus Christ and being aligned with him. Nothing else does. So there's some great news here in Psalm 23, how Jesus does these three things. Lets us lie down and let things go. Leads us in perfect safety. When Jesus is leading you, it's always safe, even when it feels a bit scary. And finally, lifting us up when we're stuck and we want to give up or we can't go on. I'll give you 3 verses or half verses here in Psalm 23 that explain how Jesus does that. I'm going to finish up with that. And I need your help. I need you to read these with me. And so let's start with the first one, Psalm 23, verse 2. Jesus lets us lie down and let things go. Okay, please read this with me. Here we go, Psalm 23, verse 2. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Here's our exercise as I work through these 3 areas. Lie down and let go, be led in perfect safety, and be lifted up when we're stuck. As I'm talking, I am now giving you permission, but just now, not all the time, just now, to half listen to me. This is just now. Not tomorrow, not this afternoon, just for the next 7 minutes. Half listen to me, and half focus on that verse from Psalm 23. And as I'm in this section, try something. Try breathing. This helps with meditating. You're breathing anyway, I hope. So, right? Just be purposeful about it. And when you breathe in, you're taking in these words of Psalm 23. You just repeat them. Read them again. And then when you're breathing out your confession of fear, everything that you're needing to control. Breathe the bad stuff out and the good stuff in, right? So half your attention is there, half's listening to me. Let's see if we can do this. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Interesting, my research showed that sheep are typically grazed in semi-arid or arid climates, and here's why. Because those climates don't have the moisture where certain parasites and organisms and diseases can flourish. Now, the challenge to that is when you're semi-arid, you don't have a lot of green grass. This is what David experienced as the shepherd around Bethlehem. Bethlehem is not a green town. It's in the middle of a desert. And so David was a shepherd in the middle of a desert. So what do shepherds do? A green pasture is not an accident. In these arid climates, shepherds are farmers. They create green pastures. This includes a lot of work on the shepherd's part. Tilling, plowing, pulling rocks, planting, right? Making sure that the pasture is there for the sheep. Jesus is at work as our good shepherd. This is John 5, verse 17. Jesus says this, "My Father is always at his work to this very day, and I too am working." So lie down. If Jesus, your good shepherd, says, I'm working right now and I'm being good, I'm being your shepherd, then let him. Let him be your shepherd. And when you do, let go of the fears and the stress that's controlling you. And my encouragement here, I've tried this for a long time. I've practiced this. I'm still trying it, still trying to get better at it. But one thing that has helped me is this. When I'm trying to let go, I'm not letting go into thin air. I'm not just saying, well, whatever, that doesn't matter, we'll just put it in the corner. But what if it does matter? Most of the time it does. So I am envisioning it not as a fumble. I have the ball of stress. I don't just drop it into thin air, but I give it to the world's premier running back, Jesus. And he takes. So it's a handoff. It's a transfer. So when you think of letting go, don't think of it as just letting go into thin air and I hope it all works out. That's not how believers let go. You let go by giving it to the scarred, crucified, capable shepherding hands of Jesus, who tills and plows in their calloused hands, and he takes care of what you need and puts you there, and you can let things go. And then read the rest of the Bible. I promise you'll find this. God can do way more with your surrender than with your control. Got to get out of his way. You can do a lot with that. Let things go. Okay, next one. Jesus leads us in complete safety. So the second half of verse 2, read that with me. He leads me beside quiet waters. Elsewhere in John chapter 7, Jesus says, let anyone who is thirsty come to me and drink. I think most Christians know this. Most Christians know, yes, I'm spiritually thirsty. I have needs. I need to be filled up. I need to be strengthened. I need to be fueled for the day. But most Christians don't really know how that works. Like when can I drink from Jesus? And what does that actually work like? And how do I do it? The answer actually is right here. This happens, right? You come to Jesus and drink from him when he leads. When he leads and not your feelings. Feelings are real, they matter, but they are not meant to be in charge. They're meant to be a sign or get your attention, but they are not Lord. Jesus is. So when Jesus is leading and not your feelings, you are being filled up. Your thirst is being filled up. When Jesus is leading and not the circumstances around you. When Jesus is leading and not your devastating guilt that feels that you have to make up for past sins. Again, that's real, but that's not meant to be in charge. That's meant to be forgiven and dismissed. So when Jesus leads. Sheep are known for getting up actually very early in the morning. So they're not that lazy after all. They get up. They're early risers. And what they like to do when they rise up early in the morning is to go out and to graze on the pasture when it still has the morning dew on all the foliage. And so this won't happen at noon because the dew will be evaporated, but in the early morning, when the dew is still on the foliage, they eat and they drink, both at the same time. So how do you let Jesus lead your every day? The quiet, early hours of the morning. Find a way to graze on the truths of your God in his word early in the morning. For some of you, you're early risers. You can do this for 45 minutes and get up in time. For some of you, you're not early risers. I would urge 4.5 minutes. Just a little touch of grazing and eat and drink. That's how he leads you then, and you're setting the tone for the day. All right, finally, Jesus lifts us up when we're totally stuck and we can't get up or move on. All right, here's Psalm 23, verse 3. Read this. He refreshes my soul. Okay, half listen to me, half focus on that verse. There's an old English term in shepherding for a sheep that has fallen over and can't get up. And this can happen for many reasons, only a few of which involve injury. Usually, it involves when a sheep eats too much and then lies down, and they're bloated and they have gases that expand in their bowels and like numb their leg muscles, so they cannot use their legs to get up because they ate too much or they ate the wrong thing. So they get, the term is called, the sheep is cast. It's cast. It can't get up. And Phillip Keller says that shepherds have this process where there's a cast sheep, he's counting his flock, and there's 3 sheep that aren't, where'd they go? They're just lying on the ground, they're cast. And what do cast sheep try to do? They try to get up, and they flail around, and their legs are in the air, and they bleat, and they make it worse. And they get more stuck. Sometimes they're so tired or so hopeless, they're not flailing anymore. Sometimes they are. The shepherd has a process. He has to go to them, and the first thing that he does is not scream at them. You dumb sheep are cast again! Bad shepherds do that. Good shepherds walk gently up, pat it very lightly on the tummy, maybe rub the tummy a little bit, all dirty with like sheep tummy stuff that you don't want to touch, but the shepherd does. Pat him gently on the head. Hey, you silly sheep, what happened to you? Did you eat too much again? Oh, you silly sheep. I tell you what, let's take care of this. Come on now. And purposely, very slowly, the shepherd actually has to roll the sheep, not just lift it up. That's too fast, and the gases will move and hurt the sheep. Very slowly roll it to the right place and straddle it, one leg on each side. Help it to it, and then it gradually gets up to his feet, and then the sheep is all wobbly and staggering around because its muscles aren't needing to, and the shepherd will walk, still straddling the sheep, walk with it, keep rubbing it, patting it on its head, words of cheering and encouragement. You can do it now. Come on. All right, come on. You can get there. Hey, all right. And man, hey, don't eat so much next time. Stay close to me. That's called restoring a cast sheep. Those of you who grew up in the King James Version know that this verse used to say, He restores my soul. Same concept. I've heard too many Christians tell me or show me that what they think Jesus thinks about them when they get stuck, when they eat too much or drink too much or party too much or gamble too much or spend too much on Amazon or do things that cause, when life is hopeless and they don't believe enough. Too many Christians think that Jesus thinks this. Think that Jesus thinks, you idiot, why in the world did I die on the cross for you're just a waste. That's what too many Christians think Jesus thinks. And Psalm 23 tells us he doesn't think that. What does he think? Oh, there you are again. You silly sheep. Did you drink too much again? Did you yell at your kids again? did you look at porn again? Ah, silly sheep. Hey, here, let me help you out a little bit. It's all right. I forgive you. Now let's get up and try again. Oh, I see you're a little wobbly. I'll tell you what, I'll walk with you. Come on, you can do it. Stay close to me this time. That's what Jesus thinks. If you're doubting that, here are words from David in Psalm 56. I'm thinking of all the times his disciples got stuck because of their lack of faith. How many times did Jesus say, "Oh, you of little faith," to his disciples? A zillion trillion, right? But each of those times, read the Gospels, each of those times where Jesus, think of they're leaving, they're going onto the Sea of Galilee in a boat, and he says, we're going to go to the other side. I'll see you on the other side. He makes them the promise. I'll see you on the other side. They get in the middle of the lake. There's a storm, and the disciples say, "We're going to die." Totally denying Jesus' promise that said, "I will see you on the other side." And what does he do? He comes to those disciples. He walks on water. He rebukes them, always gently. The rebuke is always gentle, and the miracle or the teaching is always strong. Oh, Jesus will rebuke us, and rightly so. But only gently when we are listening and ready to get up. So these words from David: when I am afraid, not if. This is David the giant slayer. How many of you have slain a Philistine giant? 0. David did, and yet he says, not if I am afraid, but when it happens. But there's a way to deal with it. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. He's talking to God. For you have delivered me from death and my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before God. I don't have enough time for a Hebrew lesson, but there's some Hebrew in here that helps for understanding. When did God deliver David? Notice he doesn't say, "You will deliver me," or "You might deliver me," or even "You are delivering me." But David says, I'm scared. I'm just scared sometimes. And God, you have already delivered me. There's some Hebrew grammar in there, but the point is, it's so sure and so certain. You have a way out of your stress. You have a way out of your fear. You have a way to live in peace. You have a way to live in joy, and that way already exists. That way is already done. Just as David says, you say to your God, "You've already done it. You have already delivered me." And what does that mean when you believe that? You will not stumble. You won't understand everything. You don't need to. You're a sheep. But when you follow your shepherd, you will not stumble, and you will walk with God, because God walks with you. Amen? Amen.